problem.
Not a problem. And I actually pressed the button without checking if everyone was ready. So let's do the intro first. It's not. It's not Sunday. It's
Nope.
Thursday. But it's the European Ham Radio Show mid-season Christmas special. No guest today and no Walt today because
What is in the chat?
yeah, Walt's in the chat. I was going to say Walt's at work, but he's in the chat, so he's multitasking.
Yep.
So that's good. Walt, happy to have you here. And I guess you did your vacation time before Christmas, as far as I've seen on social media. So I hope Christmas has been great for you, Walt. And how has Christmas been for the rest of you guys?
Snowy. Very nice. Bit-
It's been snowy and very nice because
Yes.
these are not pulling in the same direction as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like it's been cold, snowy, wintry, just as Christmas should be, like nice and white.
Yeah, it's been a white Christmas for sure here, but it's been a little bit too much snow. And I actually left the car for a couple of days, and I have not been able to get the snow off my car until it thawed up and rained a little bit today. So I've been driving a snowmobile.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised my car started yesterday. It's been standing still then for 5 days in like minus 15 degrees Celsius, and it started right up. So
That is actually impressive. And we have LB7 VJ in the chat. I was going to say we have someone new here, but he's actually been here before.
Yep.
So I actually discussed I had a QSO with him on 80 meters earlier. We discussed doing a POTA tomorrow, but we figured the weather was so bad that it might not be a POTA nonetheless. So how about, should we do the Ham Radio Week in our show today?
yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And you've been abroad, Kjetil.
Yeah, I went for a expedition yesterday. I went by car and by boat to an exotic place called Sweden, just across the border from where Morten lives, and visited SA6 Tango India Golf there, or we met up in a POTA area, did a 3-fur POTA, and that was my first portable activity in, I believe, 3 weeks. Been sick for a long time, so it was lovely to be outdoors again. Perfect, like winter weather, minus 14 degrees Celsius, no wind, sunny, just like perfect place. And
It was a 3 for 2, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. And I think it was first activation for 2 or 3 of those parks. So that was quite nice.
Nice. And I just want to break in. We have LB8 India Juliet in the chat. And I woke up to a notification by someone in our Discord. I can't remember exactly who it was. That mentioned that there's a new Norwegian YouTube channel on the internet. So everyone, please hop on over to LB8 India Juliet's channel and subscribe to him. And I see someone already posted the link there. So go ahead and subscribe to him.
Yep, he did some really nice stuff as well over there in eastern Norway. So it's fun to see more people joining online and making content. So
Yep.
So that's great. Also got to visit you there, Morten, or at least your family.
Yeah, or at least my son.
Yeah, and your neighbor, which was
Yep.
really nice. But looks like you have an amazing setup. It is really fun when you've spoken to people for like a year or something, and then suddenly you see where they live. You see their house and like the area around them, and you get some sort of other feeling about that person, like same as meeting them doing an eyeball QSO for the first time. It does change something.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And as I said to you before, we had an agreement though that you were going to stop by with a charger for one of my cameras that you had a spare one from. And I said just look for the antennas, and that's usually the easiest way to find a ham's home.
Yeah, that was not a problem. It was also easy to spot your wife's car on the road going up there afterwards. Like a big 2-meter antenna on the roof. So yeah, so I hope that was okay, and like you got the camera thing as well, the camera. As
Yeah,
well.
I got both the bracket and the charger, and I've actually charged that camera for the first time in a long time now. So hopefully that'll work fine.
That's good. Yeah. Other than that, I found out like kitchen knives are sharp. I got a kitchen knife for Christmas and managed to cut myself into the bone in that finger. So that's very nice work. I got to practice first aid, and when I say have a first aid kit available in your backpack, that is kind of critical because it's important to get to things quickly and fix it quickly.
Absolutely.
Or leave the sharp kitchen knives at home.
I was taking it out of
sharp knives are anyhow accursed. You know, if you have dull knives for a year or two, and then suddenly you buy one sharp knife, you will cut yourself. There's no way to avoid it.
Yeah, this was a packing issue. Like, yeah, you had to break a really hard bond to open it, and when that happened, the knife then just flipped out.
Ouch. But you're still with us, so that's good.
Yes.
When I saw the picture of
that
finger, I was sure you've had what I was going to call an accident. But,
nah, he's skilled with an axe, Kjetil. It can't be an axe accident.
An axe would be a problem on a finger. Like this is just a cut. It will grow perfectly. There's not an issue. But an axe is a bad thing. So
absolutely. And we got Mike in the chat as well. And I was planning to watch your live stream yesterday, Mike, but I ended up actually watching TV with the wife instead. So I hope you forgive me. Let's see, Tobias.
Just this one time.
How has your ham radio week been?
Well, actually, it's since we spoke, it's almost 2 weeks. Well, right. Well, pre-Christmas, the usual chaos. So I had my last working day Wednesday last week, and then 2 days for shopping and preparing the feast. My brother was visiting. So there was basically not a lot of ham radio happening. No, that's not right. I did the Andon Star unboxing video, this SMD inspection microscope that I presented to myself for Christmas. And yeah, I think the picture quality is quite nice. The only con-side is it can't do HDMI out and display the content on the display at the same time. So either I see it. So either I see what I solder or the audience sees what I solder, but not both, which is a bit of, let's see. I have to maybe get a mechanical HDMI switch so that I can at least quickly switch without having to, pull the plug and reconnect the HDMI connection, which is a bit annoying. And what else? Then we got...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
I was going to say you need some kind of HDMI splitter for that.
Yeah.
Or is it HDMI into the display on the microscope?
Probably, but it's not a loop back cable or something. So I don't want to open it right now while it's still on warranty. So in a year I can maybe or two I can rip it apart and see if there's a GQA to steal the HDMI output directly from the display somewhere. I don't know. Okay. Then we had Christmas, cooking, and there was no snow here in the Munich area. Basically, it was was raining until I'm not sure Monday or Tuesday, and then the sun came out, and we had a little trip to a park where they have wild, so deer and foxes, and you can basically feed them out of the hand. So that's always the traditional Christmas excursion when the weather is fine. And yesterday I did the live stream about this Christmas star, and surprisingly enough, it seems to work. I just have to put the remaining LEDs on. So let me find the right video here. No, here is it.
See,
Let's
I am
pan
gonna
around. You see,
try
that
to.
it's-
I'm begging you here.
I have to get out of the way or get this one disabled. So you see, we put all the components on. We put 4 LEDs on, and the 4 LEDs that are on are working. But there's lots more to put on. So
And
now
what-
I think
what
now
I'm-
you
What I'm thinking, are you gonna release those as kits, Tobias?
I'm not sure. I have to see. I mean, I got 10 PCBs, and maybe I have enough parts for 2 or 3, and then I only have empty PCBs. But I don't know. Maybe I can do a giveaway in my channel, or maybe on the Ham Radio show, that we get one that I prepare one set, and we can make it a giveaway for somebody who is brave enough to tackle SMD soldering.
That will not be me.
What components are you missing, Tobias?
I've just ordered a little SMD resistor kit so that I have all the resistors. And I think I'm just missing. Well, okay, LEDs you can get on eBay yourself, because then you can pick whatever color you like. So maybe I should not give it away with the LEDs, but then I need, I think, a 100 nanofarad 0805 is still missing. So I have to see. I'll see how many kits or sets I have, and then we can give them away.
I might be able to supply some of the components. The thing is, when you buy, let's say, LEDs or SMD components off eBay, if you buy 10, it's going to cost you €2. If you buy 1,000, it's going to cost you 11. So
Yeah.
simple math there.
But if you don't know if it's working, you're not buying a stock for a whole production line, right?
No. This is not even for one-off. This is 0-offs. These just go in my basement because by the time they get here, I've forgotten why I bought them. So,
But then again, you're a guy that don't like pay for shipping, though, Bob. So you always order more than you need to get the shipping per unit down. Is that correct?
yes.
So I guess that's the reason why you have 2 mobile links, because that
was the way I sold it to myself. Yes, the idea of getting 2. That's a fantastic idea.
You saved on shipping.
Yeah.
But I think when you buy these components on eBay, they're anyway, people make a living with these things. Yeah, they buy a whole spool of 1,000 components, and then they sell it in units of 10 or 20 to you. And I mean, it's the overhead of printing the labels and sending the stuff out, but I'm pretty sure they make some money with that.
Exactly. And speaking about doing a giveaway, because I just want to break in here just to announce the giveaway so we don't lose any viewers, because I've been working on one of these through Christmas, which is a receive loop, amplified active receive loop, a small kit. I did a live stream on the build, and my daughter built one today. Hers is looking a lot better than mine, visually speaking. They both work. So I'm thinking by the end of the stream, we're going to give away one of these to one lucky winner. We're going to do drawing a little bit later.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Let's see. And were you done with your week then, Tobias?
Yes, just my monitor died, but I hope you can still hear me.
Yeah,
But
we can
one of
see
the
you and we can
monitors
hear you.
switched off, so I don't know.
So while Tobias is solving his problems, Bob, how has your week been?
Let's see. It's been a good week. As a tradition in Norway to eat as close to as much as you can without throwing up. That's a Christmas tradition in Norway. So I've been full for the last couple of days since Christmas dinner. But I've managed some activations on the day before Christmas. Let's say the 23rd, because some people call the 25th Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. On the 23rd, I was up at Varingskollen. That's Lima Alpha Alpha Hotel 013. That is an alpine thing. There's a downhill ski slope, and there's a ski lift. And when you look at that on the map, it seems like a very good idea. It's close to the road, no icy road to drive, and the distance from the bottom to the top, it's just maybe 1.5 kilometers or something. What you don't see on a map, because it's two-dimensional, is that it's vertical. Bloody close to vertical. There's been quite a few mountains in the last 18 months that I've had the pleasure of scaling. This was the hardest by far. My body hurt so bad for 3 days, from first walking up that mountain in the ski slope and then walking back down in the ski slopes afterwards. That was just horrible. But it was a nice summit, nice contacts. I've got a new radio, the IC705. I bought that up there. That was, I think, my first activation with that radio. Works great.
But the menus aren't as complicated as they could be.
The thing is, that radio is just, you turn it on and it's set up to do what you want. I haven't even had to look really far into the menus. I think I'm going to try and turn off the GPS, because there's a GPS icon on screen, and I figure that probably consumes battery that I'd rather use for transmitting. But other than that, I've had no reason to go into the menus at all.
When it comes to that mountain being a bit vertical, one thing I always do when I plan these trips is using Google Earth with a 3D view.
Yeah, I saw you do that, and for the first or for the next few times after you showed that you did that, I did that as well. But
usually it's not needed, but sometimes it saves you from some pain in your legs and the rest of your body.
Yeah, I should have figured this. It's a ski slope. Normally, when you follow a trail up a mountain, that they try to find a place where it's as flat as possible. But when you make a ski slope, of course, they try to make that as steep as possible. So if I'd have thought about it, I should have known.
Can you take the ski lift up?
No, there was one of these tees that you have to have skis on your feet and just put it behind your back to get up. I was hoping for that when I went up there. If there was one of these chairs that you sit in, that would have been the easiest activation ever. But sadly, no.
I actually one of my first soda activations was just as on Molde in Western Norway peak, which is also a ski hill, 770 meters high, I think. And the irony is that you get a winter bonus where the ski lifts end at inside the activation zone.
Yeah, but I think that goes into that thing that you actually have to walk to a SOTA summit or move yourself with your own physical body. You're not allowed to drive there, or not supposed to. So, but I've been to SOTA summits where you could take a ski lift up in summer as well in Sweden, near Idre, where you could bring your bike up on the ski lift, and they had a bike like a off-road bike trail going down for summer.
That sounds like suicide.
Yeah, I went by foot, but
I would say.
So back to Christmas and ham related stuff. I'm not going to say ham radio related stuff because I tried cooking Christmas dinner this year. And we eat ribs, pork ribs. And the thing is that we're supposed to get the skin of the rib crispy and nice and not burnt. And this went really well until I got stuck watching Disney cartoons for a little bit too long. Came back in the kitchen and it was a bit smoky in there.
Yeah, like the time limit between these being perfect and being burnt is quite
Yeah.
small.
But as you can see, the skin had just started popping a couple of places, but it had burnt on other places. So I didn't get that nice crispy skin, but besides that, it was really delicious. I slow cooked it for 8.5 hours.
Ooh, that's probably tasty.
So that was really nice. Besides that, I've been doing a couple of pod activations. I built a G5 RV, filmed my activation, figured out that this video isn't going to be anything new, so didn't make a video on that. Then I've been out doing a couple of Rybakov activations, or as Mike says, Rybakov. And filmed those as well. Nothing new, nothing worth releasing a video on, but both antennas are impressive in what they do. Just being able to stay inside the car and switch bands with a tuner. And I got the new cable between the 706 and the LDG tuner. I still haven't found the old one yet, but I'm sure now that I have a cable that works, it's going to show up anytime. And besides that, I've been doing a little bit of kit building and playing around with APRS. I tried to get the TTWR up running as a digipeater. But it seems like I am in the null of my antenna on my roof when I try to communicate it with it here. So I haven't confirmed that it works properly, other than that it shows up on aprs.fi.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a cheap digipeater if it works. If not, it's a cheap tracker.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm waiting for someone to create APRS firmware for that. What's that radio with all the firmware hacks going on now? The thing with the orange.
The quenching?
Yeah. Someone's bound to create some APRS type firmware for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the radio. It's just hasn't been deboxed yet. It's in my storage.
Does it have a GPS?
No, it does not have a GPS.
But you don't need a GPS to be a digipeater.
No.
Yeah, or nor to send APRS messages, nor to receive them. So
no, just text messages.
Yeah. That should probably be possible though. So everyone developing firmware for the Quancheng, please listen to Bob here.
Yeah, everyone else can listen to me as well. That's all right.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
So, yeah, Christmas has been great ham radio wise, and I'm hoping to do at least 1 or 2 more activations before I go back to work.
Are any of you two other Norwegians here in on that WinLink exercise that's ongoing?
No, can't say so.
Okay, well, I've been trying this week. It's interesting seeing how, like for me, I usually don't have an antenna up all the time, but here at the cabin I have that. And just seeing like how that's been affected by being covered with a lot of ice and snow. That was really interesting. Like the SWR is completely different.
Yep.
But been able to participate, although I screwed up misreading the instructions. But still was able to send mails, and it's just WinLink, of course. But it's really fun. But I found out my generator is really noisy. Because the small hole that I can get power into the cabin with, that's also the same hole that I can get the antenna into the cabin. So there's like a generator wire, and then there's antenna wire going just next to each other, and that apparently induces some noise.
Don't you have an axe? You can create another hole.
During COVID, I had like one of those generator sockets you have on trailers. I just had that on the outside wall of the cabin, but I plugged that up again.
Oh,
were some electrical safety people that visited the cabin. They had some comments.
Once again, don't you have an axe for when that happens?
And we have some comments here about Tim says, has anyone not been offered to do a video on a TID radio? And nope, I have not. But Walt's comment is even better. That no one here has done a picture of a video on a picture of a Saigu this week.
So,
I
but
think
I
that's
saw
something
that
to be proud of.
I saw that they had actually released some proper engineering pictures, like photos of the unit and not just renders. And I also saw something on Twitter today about them, or X, which is formerly known as Twitter, to be correct.
It's still Twitter.
Yes, that they're gonna use. That the tuner is going to be a lot worse than it's been on, for example, the X6100 that we're talking about, a 3-to-1 tuner. I think that was in November 2 Mike Alpha Kilo that posted, and that's that's just useless.
It's no G90, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I think
you want to
that's
be
a
able to.
big... Go ahead, Chitty.
It needs to be able to tune air, basically.
Yep. And I managed to do that with my G90 once.
Yeah.
And Tim's got a good point though. You're going to be a beta tester for the first year with the Saigu radio.
But I'm still running version 101 of the firmware for the X6100, because all I've seen being released after that was new bugs, and then fixes to those bugs. So,
Yeah.
There's, at least in software engineering, I think in lots of fields of engineering, there's a saying that says, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I think that goes extremely for Chinese radios. I haven't upgraded my X6100 nor my G90. I've seen absolutely no reason to. They work the way I expected them to when I bought them, and they still do.
Yeah, and I see Walt is commenting 8 watts, what they're thinking, and it's like the FT, was it 818? The AC one with 6 watts versus 5 watts.
Yeah, and now Yaesu is going to come with an 819, I think, pretty soon.
Actually, it's not like that, because the 817 was 5 watts and the 818 was 6 watts. So this is the other way around. They're actually taking 2 watts back.
Yeah.
Which nobody's going to notice, but still.
Well, people read the spec sheets, and so
it's 2 watts less.
Yep. But there's got to be a reason for that, though, why they've done it. But is that 8 watts on the internal battery?
I haven't seen enough about it, and still a lot of this is just rumors and people posting whatever they see online. It's interesting to follow, but of course, I believe this is a marketing campaign from them, of course.
Yeah,
like how they release it. So not sure if this is a good marketing campaign at this time.
Well, they are getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. See here, both Walt and Mike's got some comments here. It's going to be 5 watts on internal and 8 watts on external battery.
Yeah.
So what you actually get, though, you get less power, you get worse tuner, and you get some handles on it.
Yeah, and a removable battery, which I think they could just remove the entire battery.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah, I see no, unless you can get the full power on the internal battery, there's no need to have it there. Like, it's completely useless.
Yep. And it's got an expansion port, though. So Steve's got a theory here.
Yeah. Has anyone heard what that expansion is for? Because if that is for transfer type things that you can get 2 meters and maybe 70 cents on it, then it becomes an interesting radio.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not an interesting radio, but it's by far not a good replacement for the existing radio.
Yeah, and that you need for your new radio to be that when you want people to buy them, I think. So
yeah,
there's no news on what that expansion thing is for.
No.
So, remember they had the GSOC for the G90, which took ages to come out. And that was supposed to be there almost on release. So I wouldn't I would believe that it would take them quite a while to release something for this as well. Hopefully,
Yeah,
not.
and William says it's for frequency expansion to go to VHF. So if that is true, that might be a game changer.
Yeah.
If it's any good, and you get sideband via
If you get 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and for a price which is a lot less than a 705, that might be a game changer.
Yeah, 705 is not really a really expensive radio anymore, I think. So they can't do that thing that they did with the Cygus, the external display that you mentioned. If you bought the G90 and that external display, you paid more than you did for a 7300.
Yeah,
that's not a good deal.
You get a worse product for more money.
Yeah,
that's never a good strategy.
No, and but still, if I wanted to go for a new radio, it wouldn't be completely irrelevant. At least how it looks now, but still, that depends how long the X6100 lasts.
Yeah,
one I have now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure.
So-
I haven't actually. I like the 6100, but I like my 706 much more. It's a better radio, and it's not just because it's 100 watts. If I had a 703, it would still be a better radio. Let's see here.
I'm still dithering what to do with my IC705. It needs a little bit of a small external amp because 10 watts sometimes just does not cut it, but I'm not sure if I should go for a 50 watt or 100 watt version. I mean, it's all about, how much extra batteries do you then need to lug around. So maybe 50 watts is good enough. What's your idea on this? Would you
I've been
buy 50 or 100?
I've used 50 watt amplifiers with it, and I've used 30 to 45 watt amplifiers with it, and both are perfectly acceptable solutions.
Yeah, but I'd say
I think the price difference is also not so much. I was thinking about getting one of these Neptune amplifiers, and there's a 50 watt and a 100 watt version, and I think there's €100 difference. So
yeah,
not sure.
I've been looking at the exact same amps, and but I have the MX M50P. Is that what it's called? P50M something?
Yeah, MX P50M. I used that. That worked perfectly fine.
I have that, and I'm going to try to stick with that for the 705. But I would, if I was going to use the 705,
you got to modify that a little bit because that has 13.8 volts over the PTT cable.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have to, but I will, and I will.
The 705 does not like 13.5 volts across the PTT circuit.
Quite a few do, but yeah, I'll modify it absolutely. And I also put other proper connectors at the back for power. I'll change out the SO connectors to BNC and a 3.5 millimeter jack for PTT. So it's easier to pack. But my point, Tobias, if I was to use the 705 in the shack, I would get a 100 watt amplifier every time. But
yeah.
If I was to use it portable, I would stick with a 50 watt amplifier because it's smaller.
Or in the car, but you need the battery also.
Yeah. So if that's a use case, I would stick with the 50 watts. I don't think you're gonna notice hardly any difference. Quite honestly, I'm now taking the D705 on that top of that ski slope that I talked about. I didn't manage to plug the power cable in properly, so that was 5 watts. Didn't really notice that much of a difference from the 100 I normally.
Okay, from the top of the mountain, right?
From the top of the mountain, but still, yeah, I'm normally at top of the mountain, so I would expect to notice a difference. But that, I got some 8s and some 7s instead of 9s, but it worked beautifully all the same. So
yeah, it's like when I tried to kill that pileup I had a few weeks back. Before I got sick, and I went down to 1 watt, and the people still kept calling.
Echo Alpha 4
Yeah.
Tango Lima.
I want to have that problem one day, right? Where I reduce power and people are still calling me. Yeah, I've never had that.
Start doing Coda and
And
that will
yeah, Tim, you're right. If you buy an amp with the 705, you're in the 891 range, but I already have the 705 without an amp. So
I actually went for the 706 because I always used an amp with my QRP radio out portable. So it's just less things to plug in and carry
never
around.
owned an amp.
The thing with the 705 as opposed to the 891, I have the 891. I think it's a fantastic radio, but the 705, it's in a different league with all the things that are in that small little box, and you get the VHF, UHF, you get the fantastically nice display, all the filtering, all the. It's in a different league completely. So I'm not 100% agreeing with Tim that you might as well get the 891. It's quite a difference in experience.
It's as always, the Yaesu radios are excellent once you've mastered the settings, but for simple use, 705, 7300, they more or less work out of the box, yeah, and you also can't fuck it up with the audio as badly as when you misalign the equalizer settings in a Yaesu radio. You can make them sound incredibly good, but you can also make them sound really terrible, and you can't do that with ICOM, yeah, because you just have two settings, and whether both are bass and treble, if both are -5 or +5, it's not so much difference. They always sound great, basically.
But Tim's got a point here, though, that nothing has ever replaced the 857D, and the 857D is actually a great radio.
That's also 100 watt, or was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a 100 watt radio, and that was one of the candidates when I wanted to swap out from going QRP to going QRO for portable. The other one was the 706, and it was just a matter of which of those radios I could get on the used market first.
857 was that one we used in this summer in our common activation?
I have an 857D.
857.
Was that with the one where we were in Oslo Fjord with Bob as well?
Yeah. No, we used the 891 then.
Yeah.
Basically, the 857, for those that don't know, it's the exact same form factor, but it's got UHF, VHF, but the thing with that radio, as nice as it is and as capable as it is, when you get the let's say the 705, you get almost 20 years of development with software-defined radio and filtering and all that niceness. So that's the thing that's not in the 857D. I think that's a fantastic radio. If I had to bring one radio for going on a multi-day track, that would probably be it. But it was designed 20 years ago, and that is apparent when you use it alongside modern radio, I would say.
Absolutely. William's got a comment here. You could use a Hilberling PT8000A, and I do not know that radio. So I need to Google that. Let's see here. I am going to share my screen here and see what shows up.
It sounds like some sort of World War II thing, like the Breitling or something like that.
No, this is let's see where that radio. That's the radio there.
Yeah,
that is some serious ham radio. I am not sure what that costs though.
Was that price in dollars or Norwegian kroner?
Was there a price there? Yeah, it's in euros.
Oh yeah,
that is a lot of radio money.
Yeah,
it looks German.
It sounds German.
Yeah, it probably is
Uh,
German.
Yeah.
Only slightly over-engineered, maybe, but
Yeah.
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 But I think that unit on the side there, that's probably an amplifier or something. That's optional because the
I
picture
think
I
no, that's
found
the power supply. That's the power supply.
with a
Oh.
kilowatt measure on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that is
pulls 1 kilowatt.
seriously.
No, it doesn't. Maybe not.
It says PA DC input, so it's I think it's a PA as well.
Yeah, but it says power supply on it down here.
It also says line and PA on top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
So and it says half and 2 kilowatt.
that is that is such an over-engineered unit that I really want one.
Yeah, I love how they used to put a huge analog dial on the front with all of that digital stuff and then one big dial.
Yeah. and look at the antenna tuner buttons. It's tuner and then it's start.
Ah. See, one thing I could never figure out about radios. I love radios with lots of controls on the front, so you don't have to go deep in the menus when you're trying to do something.
Mm.
What's the thing with the band selection buttons? When are you ever in an extreme hurry to change band?
When you're hunting POTA.
Yeah.
And Walt is leaving us, so 7-3 Walt. Enjoy work.
Yep.
If you're chasing POTA, there might be a need to change bands quickly.
Yeah.
To save the 0.3 or 0.4 seconds that it takes to go into a menu, I would much rather have a shift control or a notch control or something like that on the front, and having to go into the menus to change.
If you look on the bottom left side here, you have notch control here.
I do. Let's see.
You have squelch. You have a noise blanker, RF gain. There.
You have
and
shift?
then you have a couple of buttons. Shift? Yeah, I have notch.
Yeah, I have shift. You have that in there?
No. Might be.
Yeah, it's unclear picture. That doesn't matter. It's just that I think there's a lot of buttons I don't use on the front of these fancy radios. But
but it looks like really high quality buttons though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it's what you get used to. Like when I started up at the Lima Alpha Fort Charlie, the radio I used the most was an ICOM IC 7700, and that has buttons for everything on the front.
Yeah,
and that was really lovely. And then we got the 7300 as well for the secondary station, and I do find it horribly annoying to have to spend like something that should be one click. Is something you actually have to click 3 or 4 times to do, like changing bands. At least on the 7300, that's 2 clicks. You have to press band selection and then you have to press the band instead of just clicking the band. It's like a Tesla where you have to click 5 levels down to turn on the windscreen wiper.
and we have
is that true?
In some of them, and I think also some of the new Volkswagens. Actually, for the new Volkswagens, they've started bringing back manual controls because they found it was annoying to have to go into menus to change things.
So basically,
surprise!
Tesla hired Yaesu engineers to create their user interface.
Yeah.
We have our giveaway. It's SWL Loop. I noticed that there are 2 L's in there.
And 2 O's.
And a hashtag in front. So you have to put it in exactly like it is. And we have a whopping 9 viewers when we stream at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we're going to mention this, but Colin is also streaming at the same time now. So
too bad we can't raid over like you can on Twitch.
Yeah. But SWL Loop and one of these, I'm just going to stop the sharing of the screen for one moment. And that was not, let's see here. And it's one of these nice little antenna amplifiers here, a pre-built kit, and I'll even throw in the loop made of copper wire.
Ooh.
And I'll ship it anywhere in the world because this goes into an envelope.
Yeah, That's not going to set off any alarms at the post office. With envelope with wire sticking out of it. And, 9-volt battery connector, and that's.
I think you should put a battery in as well, just for good measure. And
Yeah.
one blinking LED.
I think
not when I'm taking a sip of my beer here. Please don't.
Just do something that beeps every 10 seconds or something.
It has to be faster and faster.
Yeah.
Let's see, where do I put the battery? Because there's an LED in this. So if I turn the power on, the LED would be lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want it to arrive, or do you want it to be?
If I can make it tick, that depends on the frequency, I think. If there's some QRM going on, you could probably make it tick.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of good comments here, but I think I'm going to put it in an envelope and just fill out the customs form correctly.
Yeah.
William,
as usual, William has the most wicked ideas, right?
Just fill it in and say it's documents or something.
Rubber.
Yes.
Are you drinking cognac, Tobias?
No. It just looks like that. It's more like, I only had 1 liter so far, so no.
Yeah. Then again, SWL loop. See, how can I make that appear on screen again? There. We have 5 entries, 11 viewers. So do remember to put SWL loop in the chat here, and we'll do the drawing when we have close to the same amount as we have viewers.
Yeah.
So you're saying for us to do the draw, someone has to quit watching?
Yeah.
Either that or people put SWL loop in there.
I'm not sure anyone's ever going to dare to have that thing sent to their
And I'll give you a choice if you want the one that I built or the one that my daughter built.
Ooh.
So, she did a much better job than I did, but she was not streaming at the same time either.
Yeah, that's really difficult. I realized that yesterday. It's not easy to run the show and not mess up with the kid at the same time.
And in my case, having a microphone and a light and everything between me and the soldering iron.
But I'm really positively surprised over the video quality from that microscope, Tobias. Like that display.
Yeah, I think it's full HD output. I think there's one more expensive with, again, slightly bigger display that can do, I don't know if it can do full 4K, but I mean, I think it's exactly what I needed. I think I picked the sweet spot that I wanted. So
yeah, it was great to watch at least.
And how much was that microscope?
200 something euro. Let me quickly check on the shop where I got it from.
Oh, sorry. Apparently I can do that now. Yeah.
You are a co-producer now, Bob, so you can do stuff like that without asking for permission.
I was just queuing it up. Please continue, Tobias. I'm going to ask you a geography question when you're done.
With great power comes great responsibility.
There's something about stupidity in that saying, but let's not go there.
The price was 219 euro from the shop that I bought it from.
Not too bad then. Some gear that I don't have room for, but that really, really want.
Yeah, it's not so big actually. I thought it would be bigger, but it's actually nice to not. You don't need to have it permanently on the desk because it's so big, so you can put it on the side in some box or something.
That is good, but let me illustrate a point here, and you kind of screwed up my angle here, but I'm going to try to do it from here to from. Thank you, Bob. This mat is 40 centimeters wide, and that is my entire workbench.
You know what? You should set up a workbench out in your RV.
I am going to sell that. So if anyone is really wanting a cheap RV, feel free to contact me.
If you want to, you can contact me too. I have one for sale as
Yeah.
well.
But speaking about the kit, we have to mention this both as the polite thing to do and as the legal thing to do. And I'm just going to share another tab here. Let's see if I do this. Then
Oh, sorry.
this. The kit is sponsored by Christech, Norway's largest and best ham radio store. He did not ask me to say that though, but you guys agree, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yep. So if you're in Norway and want to get some ham radio gear, christech.no is the place to go. Since this is sponsored content, I kind of have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are in compliance with the law. And back to the geography question, Bob.
Yes, because I had so much fun in Sardinia. So I'm already planning an excursion for next year. And I figured maybe I'll take the car and drive down to this. I can. Is my mouse showing on your screen as well? Yeah,
it is.
Yep.
To this area, because all these red dots are 10 pointers. And it seems like most of them have roads either going over the summit or really close to it. So I figured maybe take the car and drive down there. But the question for Tobias, which lives, well, at least closer than any of the rest of us, what's the weather like in this part of the world around the beginning of May?
Good question. It can change from a few. It can change quite drastically. I mean, it's not like all of Germany has the same weather, right? So sometimes it's even, you drive 10 kilometers, it's completely different. So, but I guess May, well, if you're lucky, there is spring, but I guess probably it's wet.
Wet's all right. I just, if I'm going to drive up, I'd rather it not be icy.
In May, probably not. No.
All right.
Hey.
But you have the best Romanian car out there, Bob.
No, several of us have the best Romanian cars, but yeah. So that is the plan. I was looking at. I think I'm going to spend 2 days driving down and 2 days driving back up, and maybe spend 4 or 5 days scaling or driving up, as the case may be, many of these mountains. Looks like fun.
I can highly recommend Belgium as well.
And I think we need to do the drawing though, because we had 7 entries. Now we have 5 entries.
Yeah, that's all that talk about how we're going to send it. So
yeah. I'm not sure how you actually remove your participation in the drawing. We leave this up here for another 3 minutes. So at the 55-minute mark, we'll do the drawing. So everyone, if you haven't entered hashtag SWL loop in the chat, please do it now so you can win one of those nice loops.
So how long did you spend building it?
Took me on stream. It took me about an hour.
Okay.
A little bit more than an hour. On my daughter used about 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she did a better job than I did. So, but it does work. It's not the perfect receive antenna though. It's a kit which is about $17, 17 euros. So it's not perfect, but it does work.
I think that's a cool thing to admit that she did a better job and she did it faster than you. But, you should actually make a video.
Speaking about it, here she is.
Fantastic.
I think family members should be disqualified.
I think family members are disqualified, but she can ham it forward if she wins it.
Yeah.
Right. But talking about that, admitting that you're not really brilliant at that stuff, the YouTube channel that we mentioned earlier, LB8 India Juliet.
Yep.
I don't know if the rest of you watched it, but he has what is a video. I think his first CW QSOs.
Yeah.
And he's having a really hard time, but he's sticking in there. That was just so amazing to watch that video. I really, really, really want to learn CW now. You can see his hand just shakes. He tries to shake it off when he does mistakes. Fantastic video. Everyone, when we hang up, go watch his video, his first QSO on CW.
There we go.
There you have it.
Yep.
That's 5 minutes 20 seconds. I think that you're not going to regret watching that. It's fantastic.
And he's making great content, and he's only been a ham for less than a year, I think.
Yeah.
So and being able to learn CW in less than a year like that, it takes some dedication.
Absolutely.
So 30 seconds left until we do the drawing.
Yep.
I am hoping someone else participates, but if not, you have a 1 to 6 chance of winning this.
As always, I guess I'm excluded from.
You were excluded, but if so, we might be able to help you get a kit, though.
Yeah, all right.
So we have 5 seconds left. Any last takers? And we'll do the drawing. Let's see. And we gotta do a
congratulations.
Oh,
we gotta do a redrawing here. Let's see. I'm gonna press the draw again button here because she's disqualified.
Yeah. You should have this for Christmas. Like just pick a
let's see.
present and just,
Mike is thinking that it's rigged, and it was rigged. Andy.
hey.
Hey,
Congratulations, Andy. Finally, you got something back from supporting all of the Ham Radio YouTube channels out there.
Yay.
24/7, day and night.
Yeah. So, Andy, I'm not sure if I have your address. Just send it to cq@hamshow.eu, and we'll ship that straight away to you. And I might have your address on file somewhere because you bought an antenna kit from me at some point, I think. But it'd be so much easier if you just send us your address. cq@hamshow.eu. So I can't really think of a more deserving winner than Andy here, actually.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. He receives everything all the time, anyways. But this will just make him able to watch more YouTube streams at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is Colin's stream going? If you're watching that at the same time as we're watching ours. And if we're gonna end up soon here. So if you want to hop on over to Colin MM0 OPX's channel after we're done, please do. It's finished. Tim says it's finished. Oh, hope we didn't take too many viewers from Colin. If I'd seen he was going to do a stream at the same time, we'd not do ours at this time because Colin's a great guy. But great stream. I think this might be a good time to end it.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll be back with season 2 of the European Ham Radio Show, and I'm going to check my calendar here, which Sunday that'll be. That'll be. Let's do January instead. The 7th of January. Back with season 2, and we do not have. We do not have a subject set. So if you want to give us some suggestions, join our Discord. You can find the link to join it on hamshow.eu, our fantastic webpage administered by this guy. And I think we're out of stuff to talk about now. We're like we're like
we should wish everybody a
happy new year,
or sliding into the new year, as we say here.
Yeah, this is like a net gone dry.
I don't think it is. I have a hard time thinking we'd run out of things to talk about, but we're on the hour. So
I can go on, but I don't want to bore you. So
yeah, I actually had a subject I wanted to discuss, and maybe that could be the subject for our first show: SDR receivers.
Yes.
Because I couldn't find my. There seems to be a trend on that. I couldn't find my, so I ordered one. But I ordered Chinese SDR here, so I am really hoping that that'll work. If not, it'll be I bought this so you didn't have to segment on my channel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I saw Walt just got a.
He bought AirPlay.
Yeah.
No, AirPlay.
AirSpy HF Plus.
AirSpy. Yeah, I borrowed one of these from another ham to do the testing for my loops.
Yeah,
and
that's a fantastic.
And that's a fantastic receiver.
Yeah.
Mike says he hopes that LB8 India Juliet will be on our show to talk about his journey, and that is actually a great idea. Even if you're still here, send us a message on Discord, and we'll make that happen. Yep. And Happy New Year to Tobias Kitty as well.
Oh,
yeah! I just got a visitation.
Yeah,
yeah. Happy New Year, 7-3.
7-3.
Bye, guys.